Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Study With Me. Today I'm going to explain Chemistry Standard Level Paper 1, May 2023, Time Zone 1. If you find this channel is helpful, don't forget to subscribe and let's get started. Okay, what are the units of molar mass? AMU is a unit mass of atoms, molecules of subatomic particles, and G, grams for mass. And the unit of molar mass is gram per mole, not mole per gram. Which information does the molecular formula provide? Molecular formula is used to describe the actual number of atoms present in molecule. For example, glucose C6H12O6, so the actual number of atom. And empirical formula is used to represent simple ratio of atom present in molecule. In this case would be CH2. It's more simple. So molecular formula is used to provide the actual numbers of atom in a molecule. A student heated a known mass of zinc powder in open crucible until there was no further mass change and recorded the final mass. What would the student be able to derive from this data? So if mass of zinc powder is known, knowing the mass of a substance allows you to determine its percentage composition by calculating the proportion of each element's mass within the total mass of the compound. Therefore, percentage composition of zinc oxide can be derived by knowing the mass of zinc powder. When the mass is known, one can calculate the number of moles of each element present using the molar mass of each element, then find the smallest whole number ratio of this molecule. Therefore, empirical formula of zinc oxide also can be derived by knowing the mass of zinc powder. However, additional information like the compound structure, it's not possible to determine the molecular formula precisely from the mass of its constituent elements. So molecular formula of zinc oxide cannot be derived by just knowing the mass of zinc powder. What is the molar mass of gas according to the following experimental data? So PV and RT. To find the molecular formula or molar mass, we need to derive this. N equal M divided by MR times T. So this will be PV. So if we rewrite it, will be MRT. So MR will be MRT divided by P times V. So this centimeter cube, we need to change it to be decimeter cube. Therefore, the answer will be A. What is the maximum number of electron in energy level N equal to 4? If energy level is 1, maximum electron will be 2. If the energy level is 2, maximum electron will be 8. And if the energy level is 3, maximum electron will be 18. And if the energy level is 4, maximum electron will be 32. What are the numbers of neutron and electron in 32, 16 as 2 minus? So number of proton is 16, number of neutron will be 32 minus 16, which is 16, and number electron will be the same with proton 16, but we have extra 2 electron, then it will be 18. So the answer will be B. What is the correct labeling of the blocks of the periodic table? So alkali metal will be on the S right here, which is D. And D here is the transition metals, and P for nonmetals, halogen, and noble gases, and F for lanthanide and actinide. So the answer is D. What can be deduced from the period number of an element? So I give, I will take the example per period 2. So Li, Be, and then B, C, N, O, F, and E. So the configuration electron will be 2s1, 2s2, 2p1, 2p2, 2p3, and 2p6. So you can see this is the highest occupied energy level and sub levels. So highest occupied energy level and number of sub level in the outer shell. And for the group, that will be depend on the valence electron of outer electron. Therefore, the answer will be A. How many electrons will be gained or lost when the element with electron configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 forms an ionic bond? So 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So number of electron it's 7. So number of electron it's 7 is nitrogen. So nitrogen is in group 5. So group 5 needs 3 more electrons to be 8 or complete the electron. So 3 electrons gain, not loss. Which substance is likely to have an ionic lattice structure at 298 Kelvin and 100 kilopascal? Lattice structure, when it is in liquid state, able to conduct electricity and it has free moving ions. So definitely it's yes between these two. And the melting point will be high because strong electrostatic forces between oppositely charged ions in the lattice, requiring significant energy to break the bond. Therefore, the answer is D. Why does the melting point of the element decrease down the group 1? As you go down the group, the number of electron increases. The number of shell also increases. So the radius of metal will be increases as well. Thus, the metallic bonding between atoms become weaker as the outermost electrons are less tightly held by the nucleus because the radius is also bigger. So that's why the melting point of the element decreases down group 1. In which molecule does the central atom have an incomplete octet of electrons? It's BF3 because it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's only 6. And for H2SE, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And PH3, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. And then for OF2, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. So only BF3 that has incomplete octet of electrons. Which allotrope, oxygen or ozone, has the stronger bond between O atoms and which absorbs higher frequency UV radiation in the atmosphere? So if we write the Lewis structure for oxygen, it will be like this, and ozone it will be like this. So ozone experience delocalized structure, so it's weaker compared to the ozone, And also the length of the bond, it has double bond and then single bond as well. So definitely oxygen is stronger compared to ozone. It has highest energy and frequency because energy is directly proportional with the frequency. What is the enthalpy combustion propanol in kilojoule per mole according to the following calorimetry data? So to calculate it, we use mc delta T divided by number of mole. Be careful, here is kilojoule. So thus the mass of water should be times by 1000 because it's in kilojoule. But do not worry about the specific capacity of water because it could be 4.2 joule or kilojoule, kilogram or gram for the unit. So therefore the answer will be D, and it should be negative because it rise temperature rise. Okay, which diagram shows the enthalpy change for dissolving solid in water if the temperature of solution decreases? Enthalpy change of solution is when 1 mole of solute is dissolved in excess solvent to form a solution of infinite dilution. It's always endothermic. So the answer will be this one. This going up and endothermic. Okay, what is represented by the dot line on the enthalpy profile? So this activation energy with a catalyst and this one without catalyst. So C. What happens to the average kinetic energy of the particles in the gas when the absolute temperature is doubled? The average kinetic energy of the particles in gas is directly proportional to the absolute T. Thus, when absolute T is double, the average kinetic energy of the gas will be also double. Which value of the reaction quotient shows the lowest relative amount of product at a particular point in time? If Q bigger than Kc, concentration of product it's bigger than concentration of reactants. And if Q smaller than Kc, concentration of reactants is bigger than concentration of products. Therefore, low amount of product. The value of quotient should be very small to have the lowest relative amount of product. Therefore, the answer will be A. Which products are formed from the neutralization of nitric acid and calcium hydroxide? So if we make this reaction, you can just breaking it down into ion. So Ca2 plus, these two belong to Ca, and OH minus. So negative will be paired with the positive ion. So Ca2 plus and O3 minus. So you do crisscross Ca and O3, 2. So it's calcium nitrate, and H plus with OH minus will produce water. Which combination describes a strong Bronsted-Lowry acid? Strong Bronsted-Lowry acid is about all proton. So acid is proton donor and then base is proton acceptor. So proton donor will be good for bronze telluric acid. And give if I give you an example, this will be conjugate base. So this acid and this conjugate base. So conjugate acid base pair. Conjugate base is considered weak as it less likely to readily accept proton in solution. It's not this one. So conjugate base is weak. Therefore, the answer is B. Which change involves oxidation of N? NH3 to N2. As a free element, it's 0. H3 is plus 1, so it will be plus 3 times 3. So to be equal to be 0 is negative 3. And O2, so O negative 2 will be negative 4. And this will be plus 4. And NO, oxygen at negative 2. This is plus 2. And for N2 and ALN, so negative, I will start with AL plus 3, negative 3, and N is 0. And for NO2 and 2O4, so negative 8 plus 8, but N2, so for one N is plus 4, this one negative 4, and then plus 4. This one no change, this one reduction, and this one reduction as well, and this one oxidation, because the number increases, so it's oxidation. What is the formula of copper 1 sulfide? Sulfide is S, so the charge is negative 2. Copper 1 means Cu plus 2. If you do crisscross, it will be plus 1, because it's 1. So it will be Cu2S. Which combination describes an electrolytic cell? So if it's electrolytic cell, it needs energy. Therefore, the change of energy is from electrical to chemical. And also it needs an input of energy, so it's non-spontaneous. So that would be B. Which formula represent an ether? Ether is alkoxyalkane. The functional group will be COC. So COC. Which statement explains the increase in boiling point for the homologous series of the primary alcohols? As you move down the homologous series of alcohol, the unit of or alcohol will not be added, but the unit of CH2 that will be added, because it's homologous series of primary alcohols. It's not the number of alcohols that will be added, but the change will be longer because CH2 is added. So the molecular mass increases as well, leading to increases London dispersion forces. So DCH2 increases, but not OH. That's why B is incorrect, but A is correct. Why does benzene undergo substitution more readily than addition? In benzene, the pi electrons are delocalized and make structure more stable. This delocalized distributes electron density throughout the ring, making the carbon-carbon bonds more stable, so then it's difficult to break because it experiences delocalized electron and it has a p electron, so the benzene able to undergoes resonance, so the density also distribute throughout the ring, so the carbon-carbon bonds are also stable, therefore it's difficult to break. The orange color disappears when bromine water is added to compound X in the dark. which compound is X. To differentiate between alkanes and alkenes, we can use bromine water. If it's alkane and we add bromine water, there is no color change. But for alkene, if we add bromine water, the orange color of the bromine water will change to be colorless. Therefore, it will be ethene because it's alkene. What is the percentage error if the enthalpy of combustion of a substance determined experimentally to be negative 2100 kilojoule per mole, but the literature value is negative 3500 kilojoule per mole? So to calculate the percentage error, you need the absolute for the experimental value minus accepted value and divided by accepted value as well. So 2100 minus 3500 divided by 3500, you will get times 100, you will get 40%. In which case would repetition produce an improvement in accuracy? You need to judge of the end point of titration. So if you repeat the experiment, the accuracy will be improved as well. So when you judge the end point of titration, this will be repeated as well. That's why D is correct. Which technique is most likely to be used for identification of functional group? Definitely IR. Combustion analysis is to use to determine the elemental composition of a compound. Determination of melting point is to characterize the purity of a compound. And mass spectroscopy is to use to determine the molecular mass and structural information. Alright, that's all for the explanation for Standard Level Paper 1, May 2023, Time Zone 1. If you find this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and bye for now.